Hey everyone, welcome back to Work and Wander, where career stories meet dream destinations. I am one of your co-hosts, Jay Cocarulo.
And I'm Jessica Badlam. How you doing today, Jay?
I am doing well, Jessica. How are you?
I'm great. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever though, because you've been so busy traveling.
I have had a few trips. This is
You
not a
had one
lie.
this week, right?
Yes. I actually flew back to Orlando yesterday afternoon, and I was headed out. I actually was out in the Palm Springs, Indio, California area.
Nice.
And we were doing some employer brand video shoots out there. And I got to meet the fantastic team and talk to lot of great people. So I can't wait to have that content on like the career site and on
Mhm.
our YouTube channel.
I
However,
love that content.
I did have my own version of a suitcase sprint.
Did you?
Yes. So I was supposed to fly out Monday morning at I'm gonna say 6 AM, and when I got up at 4 AM, it turns out my flight was canceled.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
I know, and so I went back to sleep because we were rebooked on a, 4 PM flight, and then I went Orlando to Salt Lake City to Palm Springs, and if you know anything about the afternoons in Orlando, there are almost always thunderstorms.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they got us on the plane. They're like, "The storm's coming, get on the plane." We boarded the plane, and of course, the airport shut down, like, right as we were all on board. So we waited in I know, we waited an hour, and we took off, and now I'm watching my connection because my time is very, very short.
Mhm.
Um, by the time we landed and got to the gate, I had a 19-minute to get from Salt Lake, like, B 20 something to A 30 something, which includes a tunnel underneath the
Oh, no.
but it was the last flight to Palm Springs of
So you
the
had to make it.
we had to make so I was with, another teammate of mine, Haley, and very night like, I will give Delta some, like, props. They made the announcement on the plane, "If you have a connection in these places,
Oh, I
can
oh,
everyone else
so
stay
good.
seated?" And
Yeah.
everyone was very good and stayed seated so that the people with those tight connections could get. But we were, I mean, we sprinted through the airport. We were the last two on. They closed the doors behind us. They were
Oh
very
my
nice.
goodness.
I don't know that we were late, but they were like holding it for us. So, kudos to the, and I mean, I was so out of breath. I don't know how far. Wish I would have clocked how far I was running because I was like, I am not in good shape.
Yeah, if you have, like, an Apple Watch, it was probably like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, it was like, "Yeah, are you okay? Are you doing a workout?" "No, I'm not. I'm
No,
just trying to make
actually.
my flight."
Oh my gosh, well, I'm glad you made it, oh my
Yeah, we
gosh,
made it. We
literal
had a great
suitcase sprint.
It was a literal suitcase sprint with my carry-on and the whole thing. So, anyway,
Wow.
that was the adventure for the week.
Okay.
Flying back, we actually got diverted to Tampa for a minute because there was a storm again. Um, and we thought they were like, "Maybe we're gonna not have enough gas to keep waiting," and then they diverted us back to Orlando. So
Oh my gosh.
that was the
Note to self,
adventures.
don't fly in or out of Orlando in the afternoon.
Yes, I don't even know why they do that. It's just summer afternoons in Orlando, no flights.
Yeah, there you go, advice.
There you go. There you go. Well, let's jump into our guest today because we are keeping our ARDA series going with another
Yay.
ARDA winner. I know. So today we are joined by Adria Van Blarcom, manager of contact center training here at Travel and Leisure. Adria is a 2025 American Resort Development Association, which is what ARDA stands for, winner for training and development, a recognition of more than a decade of work building leaders, shaping learning programs, and driving real results for the contact center. So, Adria, welcome to Work and Wander.
Thank you for having me.
We are thrilled to have you here.
Yes. Congrats
Uh,
on your win.
yes, congrats on your win. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about that for sure. But before we jump into that, you started on the operations side. So what drew you towards training and development and what was that pivot like? Like give us the origin story.
Okay. All right. Love a good story. So I actually, I never actually said, "Hey, I want to be in learning and development." That actually wasn't anything that came to mind at the moment, I was just sitting doing my job as a supervisor, and someone tapped me on the shoulder, the manager of L&D, and said, "Hey, have you ever thought of being a trainer?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Well, think about it." And the next day, she was like, "Did you think about it?"
You're like, "I didn't
I'm
I didn't
like,
know I had 24 hours to decide this."
give me a minute. Give me a minute. But I call myself a firework thinker. I'm one of those people. It's like if you come and you plant a seed, then it's like I can't sleep because like my brain, it's like a firework explodes, and I'm just like, ooh, the possibilities. Oh man, if I could train, if I could impact every individual person that walks through those doors, just think of that ripple effect. So that's actually what happened. I got tapped on the shoulder, and that's how I got into it. I couldn't stop thinking about this could be really cool. And so I let her know because she then followed up again the very next day. So, "Did you think about it?" And I'm like, "Actually, I did, and, maybe I will go for it." She's like, "Terrific, interviews tomorrow." Um,
Oh, she was on a
Oh, jeez.
timeline.
She, like,
I'm
had
like,
to get going.
"Okay." I said, "Clearly, you've been thinking about it."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's how it actually got started was with that.
That is really
Alright.
cool. Obviously,
Yep.
whatever you were doing in your supervisor role, something stood out to her and gave her this firework idea and it ignited something really cool. So that's awesome.
It's
I
funny,
love that.
it goes back to when we were talking with Kim Marshall about the, like,
Yes.
the path comes before you and you never know, but take the risk, take the fork in the road. So
Yeah.
it's like, never close the doors on some opportunities,
Yeah.
right?
That is really cool. So obviously, in learning and development and training, you are constantly building leaders. What is one thing that you wish more organizations got right when it comes to that?
That is such a good question. And I would say if we as a business, we stop promoting your best performer, and assuming
Mm,
that automatically they're going to make the best leader, because leading people is so different. It's a very different skill than just doing the work. And so I think sometimes we're spending, a lot of money, technology, we spend a lot on our systems, we spend a lot on other things, but really investing in how to be a leader and how to lead with intention and how to empower people, how to have trust of the people under you. Like those are things I think that a leader is there's natural leaders, and then a leader though is also groomed and grown. So yeah, just stop just thinking, hey, they do the job so great. Clearly they should be the person to replace me when I leave. That's not the math. That math doesn't math.
yeah.
Yeah. Good advice.
No, I like that. I like that, and that's something for senior leaders to, think about because you're
Mhm.
right, it's not an automatic, "You do this job good, so you're gonna do this job good," right?
Mhm.
The, when you think about so obviously you've developed some training that has some measurable impact. The ARDA win, just
Yes.
showcase that for sure. Can you walk us through the process of what it looks like when you, like, when you find a problem and identify it, and then when you see the results, like the life cycle of the problem and the training?
Yeah, so much it's funny because, when I joined L&D, I really thought that it's all about, creating training collateral, right? Creating the PowerPoints, the SOPs, the step by steps with good pictures, and then being able to train people and convey that. But actually, the majority, like there's a whole half of your job happens before you create the first slide. And it's the investigative side where you need to
Mhm,
really dig down and understand from the business, what is this exactly? How does this work? What's the result you're hoping for? What is the intended purpose of this change or this new benefit or whatever? Because until you understand that and what the desired outcome is that they're hoping for, and then also know your audience and who it's for. And those are the pieces that are going to help you create the exact type of training that you need to create to get the results that you need. Like,
Mhm.
there is a huge difference in how we train a club if we're training an inbound group versus an outbound group. The training is completely different. If you're training to be the on the resolution side or on the we're here to book your vacation side. So for example, take Club Wyndham. Um, for just that one club, we have about 15 different types of training for it. specific
Wow.
what the result needs to look like and what the how the agent needs to come out at the end of that training to give the results that the business needs them to give and to deliver the service that the owner is going to need when they give us a call and looking for help. So I would say that that was the biggest surprise to me when I joined L&D was just that part of understanding and the development piece and understanding the audience and the what and the why before you start putting pen to paper and making a slide.
I love that.
You also created a diversity course for global leaders. What inspired that and what did you hope people would walk away with?
Well, I love that. I love that. I'm gonna wander, haha, pun intended, in my answer. So I actually grew up very immersed in other cultures. I was born in Italy. I lived in Portugal and Ireland and
Jay.
Brazil for 11 years. So most of my
Wow.
was done. Yeah. So I didn't move to the US until I was in my early 20s. So my big culture shock was the American coming to the US, like not really
Okay.
knowing how to be an American. Um, so I'm like, what at Christmas? I'm not having a pool party, because it's
Mhm.
hottest time of summer in Brazil for Christmas.
That's funny.
And then
Yeah.
I moved from Brazil to Minnesota. So
Oh gosh.
Oh, geez.
right into 6 feet of snow. So you
That's
want a
quite a
white Christmas?
dramatic change.
Here
Yeah.
you go. It's really white. Yeah, so when with travel and leisure, I had the opportunity to go and open our branch of owner service call center in the Philippines, and I was there for 3 months. And that reminded me of Brazil, and it reminded me of that difference in culture and the way that they learn, the way they retain information, the way to engage them. They love karaoke. It was very different than what you would do in traditional US class. And then later when I became a manager in L&D and we started getting our owner service group in Mexico open up, I'm like, wow, my facilitators aren't just facilitators for US. We're not domestic anymore. We're international. So we really need to have a broader and deeper understanding of cultures. And I think sometimes, people say, oh, yeah, I really want to understand. You can never really understand. It's kind of like somebody saying, "I know just how you feel," and you're like, "No, no, you really
Mhm.
don't, because 'cause you're not me." But just just kind of just broadening how you look at the world and how you understand where how people might just do things slightly differently. It's like in Brazil, it's polite to show up a little later so your host has time to anticipate your arrival. In the US, that's very rude. You come on time.
Mhm.
So just little things like that. So just kind of a different way of thinking. So that's kind of what got it started. And that's when I was like, wow, we really need this for the training group. And then it was so helpful to them in running classes because when they'd run a class out of Mexico, they led it very differently than how they would lead a Clark class or a US class. And it started to make a big difference in how our classes became engaged and how they responded to the training and responded to our trainers and helped us grow the culture. And it especially became necessary when we were so virtual because we used to train all our classes on site and then we went virtual after COVID. So that was another reason why this was created because we needed people to connect, but now connect
Mhm.
virtually and connect all across the globe. So when that went so well with the training group, then we rolled it out to our quality assurance specialists who listened to calls to help adjust how they coached individuals and provided feedback. It even helped in like leader conversations because some leaders are some cultures are very polite and they don't want to cause trouble and they'll just let everybody else talk. And you have an American dominated, conversation because we are all good with talking. So yeah, so it just kind of kept spiraling. And oh, I saw you did this. Could you do it for our group too? Could you do it for our group too? And next thing you know, it was just kind of making its way around and was just a beneficial training. So that's how it got started. That was yeah.
It's like a viral training.
I think
Yeah, it kind of went viral, but yeah, it's
I love that. I love that that was like birthed from your own
Yeah.
diverse experiences through the multiple places that you lived.
Well, it
Like,
was funny because it was like, yeah, for me, it was easy for me to kind of switch. I've gotten used to, I grew up having to switch. Oh, this is how they do it in
Right.
Portugal. Oh, this is how they do it in Ireland. Oh, this is how Brazilians do it and how the US does it. But not everybody gets to have that experience. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
I think
I love
anytime
it.
you can make a virtual training more engaging, like, it's obviously much more difficult to do that than an in-person training, and it sounds like you guys have been very successful with that, so congrats.
I'd like to say we have definitely
Yeah.
gotten good at it. Yes.
I love that. I love that. Um, if you're thinking about, like, obviously it was sort of presented to you as this opportunity or this fork in the road, as I said earlier. But if someone is thinking about shifting into learning and development as part of their career, like any advice or thoughts that you can share that might help them on that path?
You know, if you want to be in learning and development, I think a lot of times people think like, oh yeah, I would love to get up and help teach people, and I think a lot of people think about the teaching piece of it. And if you're good at instructing, they're like, I'm a great mentor. I think I'd be great at L&D. And I think that you have to just kind of think a little broader. Like if you like to help get results, if you like to drive business solutions and roll those out, and you like to dig, I don't know, it's like it's a big mishmash. It's a whole lot of things you need to do. You need to lead. You have to People in a classroom are very it's like a pressure cooker, because
Mhm.
everybody's nervous, they're trying to put their best foot forward, but they're also adult brains trying to learn new information. So that one is can be a struggle. So you kind of have to be a mentor, you have to be a coach, you have to be a trainer, you have to be an investigator. So when people come and say, I'm interested in LD, I'm like, great, you have to be incredibly curious, and then also have the ability to organize, compartmentalize, lead. Like, so you have to be able to do many, many things. And I think the question I get asked actually all the time is, should I be a supervisor or move to L&D? And I say, if you
Oh.
like something that's a little more slower paced, a little more consistent, you get to get a group of people and nurture them and care for them and be with them for the journey, become a supervisor. If you like to be impact the business in a quick way, but on many different levels. Like you might be training a travel group, and then you're training an owner resolutions group, and then you're training the live chat team. If you like that, if you like fast pace, if you can pivot quickly, if you're flexible, then go in L&D. So that's kind of a roundabout way to sort of kind of answer advice I would give.
I I like
Uh,
that. I like
I know.
that. I like that these are the 2, like, these are, like, things to think about for each sort of path. No, I
yeah.
Yeah.
obviously, we're not the first people to ask you this question.
Yeah. I have a lot of people that will set up time like, "I'm interested in L&D, let's
Yeah.
talk." And some people, it gets them excited when I describe it, and I'm like, "Fantastic, this is for you, because you have to be excited."
Yeah.
It has to be a passion of yours, I think, because L&D isn't something you can come in and slowly,
Mhm.
gradually absorb and get used to it. It's You gotta kinda hit the ground running.
Yeah. In order to be impactful in that space, you definitely have to have a passion for it. I mean, I think that applies in a lot of things, but when you're being a mentor and you're developing people, that it has to be super genuine. So
For sure.
well, I've really enjoyed all of that and learning about your different culture experiences growing up. I feel like this is going to be a really
I
great
know, I
time
can't wait.
switching over to talk travel. So, I'm super pumped about that and happy to switch gears a little bit. So, I would love for you, Adria, to tell us about a trip that really stuck with you, somewhere that surprised you a little bit or just felt like exactly what you needed.
Honestly, like, thinking about the Philippines and my time over there with them opening up, our owner service group, that really changed me. That had a huge impact on me, and I was there for 3 months, so that,
Yeah.
took a difference too. But I was there like, here I am, I'm ready to get you launched and get you up and running, and expecting to be like the trainer, the person to kind of, get their best foot forward. And I learned just as much from them. So much grew from that experience. The hospitality, the pride that they took in their work, such great relationships we built. It just reminded me that leadership can it looks very different everywhere you go, but people all want the same thing. They want to feel valued, trusted, feel like they matter, and be able to make a difference. And so it was just really inspiring to have that opportunity and that time to just kind of s- and maybe it's because too I got to immerse myself in that culture and just live with them for such a chunk of time. I feel like that experience helped me become a better leader and just think a little broader, think a little more inclusively. And yeah, I think that really had an impact on me.
That's great. I love that, that it was like a work trip that turned into
Yeah.
a experience that you'll never forget.
100%.
Is there a anything on your list that as I mean, you've been a lot of places, let's, like,
Yeah.
throw that out there, right? But there's gotta be, like, something that you, like, are trying to get to or hope to get to one day.
Yeah, and actually this kind of goes together with a new career flash, a news flash I can give you. So one of the very first trainings that I was asked to train was to be a travel trainer. Travel had always been trained by supervisors, and so they're like, "We need you to learn travel, train it." And so I created the first ever L&D run travel training. Um,
Oh.
as of last month, I became the director of travel.
Oh,
Wow,
So
congratulations!
a little celebratory moment. I love it.
so one of the things when I was training travel that I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to do this one day," because I'm learning about cruises and trains and planes and automobiles, and you have to go back and watch those old movies, Planes, Trains,
I
and
got the
Automobiles.
reference.
80 Days Around the World was a favorite of mine when I was a kid, but yeah, there is a Viking river cruise through Europe that
Oh,
I would love
yes.
to take, and if you
Okay.
have never looked up Viking river cruises, do so. It is an amazing, beautiful floating hotel, and every morning you wake up and there's just a new destination, and you just go and
Oh,
explore, come back to your hotel, and in the morning you're in a new spot.
Is
And
is there a specific river that you wanna do it on?
Yeah, I can't decide. Like, there's some good Nordic ones that are more like Northern Europe, and then there's just the ones that go like right through the center of, like on the Thames and up. So there's several, but any of them I'd probably be happy with. But just the idea of exploring the little villages, the towns, the castles, the museums, but yeah, so many people try, the trip to Europe is like that dream trip, right? And you only get to take it once in your life
yeah.
or maybe twice if you're lucky. And people want to go to many, many places and they literally want to book a hotel like 2 nights here, one night there,
Mhm.
go here, go there, see all the things. And it's like, you know what? Wow. Checking in and out of a hotel 20
That's a
times,
lot of work.
that's a lot
It
of work.
is.
Get on a river cruise and let your hotel take you where you need to go.
Oh, I
Yes.
like
Make
that
it
sounds
easy.
awesome.
So that
I
is
wanna
my
do
dream
that.
vacation, and I kinda have to do it now because it's kind of not right to be in charge of travel and never had taken a cruise ever. I've never been on a cruise at all, any
Okay.
kind of cruise, so
All
That's
right.
that will be
crazy.
my first ever.
I am a cruise fan, but I have not done I have we haven't done the river cruise, but we have done plenty of ocean, or we did Mediterranean cruises, so, but yeah, that it's funny, my wife has actually, like, looked at those specific Viking ones because they do look so incredibly nice, so,
That sounds amazing.
yeah. Yeah,
And
100%.
I just
There's
wanna
a
say
really cool the River Niles cruise. Oh, that looks spectacular too. So I don't know,
mm,
some kind of river cruise. I'll
I'll have
be
to do
there.
some research. Well, I wanted to say, you can tell how passionate you are about your work because each travel question that we've had has started with work, and then you, like,
That's so
finally got
funny.
to your dream destination, so I love that. You're super passionate. That's great. Cool. All right. So another travel question for you. What does a good vacation really look like for you? Like, are you the type of traveler who plans everything out, or are you just showing up, figuring it out as you go?
I'm a little bit of both. I like to plan way, way ahead because I think then it gives you something to look forward to. So I'll
True.
the flights, where I'm going to stay, all that is planned meticulously far in advance. Big time planner there.
Okay.
But once I get there, I like to just chill and just wander around and see where it takes me. And
Mm,
I just love, like I went down to Kona and I was staying at one of our resorts because I had some employee nights to use. And wandered into a store, ended up having a conversation with the person who ran it, ended up going home and meeting his family and having lunch with them,
oh, jeez.
spending the afternoon with them. Like, and so many of my trips have been like that.
Oh.
Uh, so like I like to just kind of go where the mood takes me. So yeah, I'm a meticulous planner when it comes to getting there and having a place to stay. And then the rest I just go with the flow.
All
All
right. That works
right.
for me. I think that's a good
Yeah,
way to balance it.
that is a good balance. I will definitely agree that that's a good balance.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we teased it at the start, and I know that you've listened to the episodes, but we're going to jump into the suitcase sprint. This one will not be actually sprinting through an airport trying to catch your
Oh my
19-minute
gosh. No,
connection.
thank you.
Oh,
No,
I
thank
But
so the more you talk about it, Jay, the more I wish you had a visual, like a
I
recording.
really, I really, I was so focused on getting there and not having to spend the night in Salt Lake City. Nothing wrong with that. It would have messed up
Yeah.
my entire video shoot.
Yeah.
But I do wish I turned on my camera.
Mhm.
Anyway, what we're gonna do for you is some rapid fire questions,
okay.
Adria, whenever you're ready.
Let's go. Let's do
All
it.
right. She's ready to roll. Okay. Window seat or aisle seat?
Window, always, every time.
Back
Yeah.
to window. We had a lot of aisles. We had a lot of aisles in a row, but back to
You
window.
gotta
Jay was
see.
catching up on me. You just saved the day, Adria. All right. Carry on only or checked bag?
Carry on. I would rather buy clothes there than have to deal with checking a bag.
Okay.
All right.
New wardrobe. I
I
like
like
that.
that approach.
It's a good method. All right. Do you unpack immediately when you arrive or do you live out of the suitcase?
I immediately unpack things that I want to hang up. Everything else
Okay.
stays in the suitcase.
Okay.
Oh,
All
another
right.
balance. All right.
Yep.
This is a theme. I like that.
Situational every time.
All right. What is your favorite travel coffee order?
Oof. I like coffee that tastes like ice cream. So, I'm gonna go with a frappuccino and,
There you go.
that frappuccino with the whipped and the caramel drizzled on top that, you never allow yourself when you're trying to stick
Oh,
to a diet at home.
yes. Those, I mean, they taste so good, but it's,
Oh,
So good.
at
delicious.
least when you're on vacation, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Yeah, that's
See?
the best thing about it.
All right. So, the next question I have for you is favorite travel snack.
Uh, that's a good one. I think I'm just a very basic peanuts and raisins. When I was a kid, that was just the snack
Like a
we always
trail
had,
mix?
and raisins, and that
Okay.
just that hits it every time.
I like a good trail mix myself. All right.
Yeah.
Are you an overpacker or a minimalist?
Minimalist, 100%.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shopping when you get there.
Buy clothes when you get there.
Yep.
All right. Beach, city, or mountains?
Man, I gotta pick one.
Yeah, I know it's
Rapid
hard.
fire, rapid fire. I love a good mountain, so mountains.
Okay, I like that too. Boutique hotel, big resort, or a unique stay?
Does anyone say? I feel like I should say resort because probably boutique hotel. I love.
They are so fun.
There's nothing wrong with that.
They're just quaint. They're usually in really cool little locations, and it goes along with my vibe of just liking to talk to people. And they're usually like run by the single owner it's been in their family, and like I don't know, they're just charming.
Okay. When you're on vacation, are you an early riser or a late riser?
It depends on how much the time zone changed. I'm generally
Fair.
I generally get up at 6 a.m. So like I'm that person. If I'm in Hawaii, I'm gonna be up at the middle of the night. Like,
Okay.
well, I'm awake. So yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
that's
early
fine.
riser normally.
Okay. Last one, dream travel buddy, past or present?
I mean, it's got to be Vanessa. I mean, that's my person. So we travel extremely well together, and she hasn't seen much of the world. And when we got together, all of a sudden, she had a passport for the first time, and she just gets so excited for all the new
Nice.
places. So yeah,
Okay. Lots to take her to see then.
Yep.
Yes, gotta
All
get her
right.
out
Well,
there.
No, I will
you
try to
s-
take my dogs. Probably one another reason I like the boutique hotels is often you find those are the ones that allow
Alright,
dogs.
alright,
Mhm.
I can get on board with
dogs are
that.
essential. Yeah.
They
We
are.
survived the suitcase sprint.
I love it.
All right. Well, we have enjoyed our conversation with you for sure. We have
Yeah.
one final question. As you, as in training, learning and development and training, know the mission at Travel and Leisure is to put the world on vacation. So, what does that mission specifically mean to you?
You know, I worked in the grocery industry for 10 years. And every year around the holidays, I'd have to get a second job at a store, yeah, just to kind of get through the holidays and all the expense. And I always tried to get that second job at a place where I got the best discounts for the types of things I wanted to get, like essential things like Lego or furniture or stocking stuffers, you know. So one day I decided I was done with Minnesota. I wanted to move across. I moved out to Seattle and I said, let's just reinvent my life. And I said, what if I, instead of just on the holidays, what if my full-time job was doing something I love to do? And that's what led me to travel and leisure. So I think that um, if you work for a company doing something that you love, you get a lot of discounts to continue to do those things you love. When I started with Travel and Leisure 18 years ago as a club winning guide, getting owners on vacation was what it was all about for me, but for me personally, it's just about helping people do what they love to do and getting to do that every day and impact that. It's just I don't think there's just a better job out there for me, and I think you should always do something that you love and you're personally passionate about because 'cause it'll come through and you'll do very well at it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's sage advice.
Yeah.
This has been an episode of great advice. Like,
Oh,
Yes.
hopefully
Like
thanks.
people are
good wisdom.
yeah, exactly. I'm hoping that people take away because I'm taking stuff away from it, so hope people
Yeah.
do as well.
Awesome. Well, Adria, thank you so much for joining us on Work and Wander. And to our listeners today, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep wandering.
And thanks for having me.